all of my Denison ISD first graders. My name is Miss Matlock, and I am a first grade teacher at Lamar Elementary. I'm going to be teaching you a lesson today over the plant life cycle. You've been learning about plant parts and plant needs and things that plants need to grow, but today we're going to actually break it down and talk about what happens during that time when they're growing. So here we go. Okay, my science news today, it says, Dear parents, we will continue our science unit on plants. We will cover the topic of plant life cycles. We are looking forward to many exciting investigations, and you guys are even going to get to do an experiment, not with my lesson, but later on. Thank you for all of your help, and I just want to say thank you for logging on and continuing to learn even though we are at home. Okay, our learning target today, we can explain the life cycle of a plant. So when we are done with this lesson, I want you guys, you first graders, to be able to explain to anybody that asks you what happens during the life cycle of a plant. And we're going to talk a lot about it. Okay, so some of you are wondering, what are the actual stages in the life cycle of a plant? So what happens when a plant is growing? What happens to make it grow? So that's what we're going to be looking at. Okay, so the first thing that I want you to do is I want you to take your camera that's on your smartphone or your parent's smartphone or an iPad, anything that has a camera and that can pull up the internet, and you're going to take a picture of this QR code, and it's going to bring up a short video of what happens during the life cycle, and it shows you a quick little video, and it's really neat. So if you want to pause this video, this slideshow, and go ahead and do that, it's really neat. Okay, so our science vocabulary today is life cycle. So it's how living things grow and change during their life. Okay, we have a little reader that we're going to look at. It's called Life Cycle Plants by Karen Jones. People begin life as a baby. They grow and develop and get bigger and stronger. As they grow into adults, many people have babies and continue the life cycle. A life cycle shows how living things grow, change, and reproduce during their lives. So on this example, it doesn't show a plant, but it does show the life cycle of a butterfly. Plants have a life cycle just like people do. Many plants begin their lives as a seed. So we start out as little babies, they start out as little seeds. The seeds have a hard covering called a seed coat that protects the inside. The part inside the seed coat is what grows into the new plants. Seeds are planted into the soil. As time passes, the seed begins to sprout roots, and those grab up into the ground. The roots grow down into the soil. The stems begin to grow up and sprout out of the soil. If the sprout gets water, air, sunlight, and nutrients from the soil, it will continue to grow. As the sprouts grow, it turns into a seedling. A seedling is a small plant. So you can see on the screen that it's just a small little plant that has leaves, but it's not full grown yet. With sunlight, air, water, and nutrients, the seedling grows bigger. It grows into an adult plant. The adult plant produces seeds or fruit that will one day grow into brand new plants. Seeds that are made by the adult plant are then spread by the wind, water, animals, birds, and people. Some of those seeds will then grow into a new plant. The life cycle will begin again. So I thought it was really interesting that the wind, water, animals, and birds can plant seeds too. So not only do we plant seeds in the ground when we have gardens or when we want flowers, but the wind can push them or blow them places, as well as the water. Animals and birds, when they pick them up in their mouths, they sometimes drop them in different places and they end up growing wherever they're dropped. I thought that was really cool. life cycles show how things live, grow, and change during their life cycle. So you can see that it's giving you a little chart, and it starts out with the seed and then has little arrows that are pointing to all of the stages that it's going to go through. So it starts out as a seed, then we go down and it sprouts, and you have roots. The roots grow into the ground. When the roots grow into the ground, then it sprouts up out of the ground and becomes a seedling plant, and then eventually grows into a full-grown plant. So we are going to look at an anchor chart now. This was on the last page of that book that we just read, and we have our vocabulary there. It says life cycle, and it says shows how living things grow and change. So that's what we're going to be looking at. So the seed is planted in the ground some way or another. Either humans do it, or birds, animals, wind, rain. All of those ways are ways that the seed can end up planted in the ground. Then the seed sprouts a root. After that, the stem begins to grow down into the ground and makes a root system. After the roots make a root system, the seedling begins to grow up and out of the ground. Then, after it continues to get more sunlight, more nutrients, all of those things, then it becomes an adult plant. And it has blooms and big leaves and all of those things that you're used to seeing. After that, after the adult plant grows, it then has seeds that are picked up, pushed, blown, all of these things. They're moved throughout the earth, and seeds are spread and planted once again, and it starts all over. So we're going to have one more arrow because it's a continuous loop. It starts over and over and over again. The life cycle of a plant, we have the seed is planted, the seed sprouts roots, the stem grows up, the seedling grows, and then the adult plant makes seeds. Okay, so now we're going to look at your stations, and this is your life cycle station. So if you have a PDF file or paper copies of this unit, you can complete these activities. If you are only able to view them on this video, we're just going to place cards in the correct place as you would on the paper. So if you need to point to it, drag it, do whatever you need to do to complete this activity. So you're going to have several different versions of this, and I'm going to quickly go through these. I'm going to do the bean plant first for you, an example, and then after that I'm going to kind of click quickly through them because you're going to complete all of those independently, so on your own. So the life cycle of a bean plant. So you're going to have a paper, and it's going to look just like the one on the screen, and you're going to cut out the pieces. So this is life cycle of a bean plant, and you're going to glue it to the top of a blank piece of paper, newspaper, whatever you want to use. And then you're going to take your cards that go with it, wherever I have placed mine. Oh, in my baggie. You're going to take those and you're going to cut them out. So you've got all of these different little cards, and you're going to cut them out, and you're going to put them in a bag. So I showed you 3 out of the 4. You're going to put them in a bag, shake it up real good, and then you're going to draw. Then you're going to draw out and place them in the correct, upside down. Place them in the correct order on the page. So on the bean plant, you start out with the bean, then it sprouts, grows roots, then the seedling sprouts up through the ground, and then you have your adult bean plant. So you're going to do that for the bean plant. You're going to do it for the pumpkin. I'm going to quickly click through these. You're going to do it for the sunflower. Click through those. Now, you have another QR code, and this is for the sunflower, and it's really cool too. So go ahead and pause me, take your camera, smartphone, iPad, whatever, and go ahead and watch that short video for me. Okay, you have the life cycle of an evergreen tree. We're going to click through that. Okay, so there's your evergreen activity. Okay, and I'm going to have you quickly check this. It says students talk about and point to the part of the plant that grows into a new plant. So if you are listening, I want you to go ahead and point and show whoever you're with what the correct part is. Is it leaves or seeds? So which part of the plant grows into a new plant. You should be pointing to seed. Okay? This is the life cycle of a plant. Draw to show what happens. Oh, I'm so sorry, I read that wrong. Draw to show what plants need to live. So you're going to use that page and you're going to draw 4 pictures, 3, 4, on the life cycle of whichever plant you choose. And then it asks you 2 questions down at the bottom. Does a life cycle show how living things grow? Does a life cycle show what living things eat? You're going to circle yes. You're going to circle no. Okay? And then we have a quick review. And this is just a thumbs up or thumbs down. And I have a paper copy for you if you want to print that out and do it on paper, but you don't have to. So are plants living things? Thumbs up or thumbs down? If you think they are, thumbs up. Nope, thumbs down. So we're just going to quickly go through these and do those together. So you should be giving me a thumbs up because plants are living things. Okay, number 2, non-living things grow and reproduce. No, they do not. People are living things. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Thumbs up, we are living things. We need food, we need water, we need air. Okay, a car is a living thing. I don't know about that. Thumbs down, for sure. Cars do not need all of those things to live. They need gas to run, but they do not breathe air. Okay, seeds grow into new plants. You should for sure be giving a thumbs up. Okay, so these are just some examples of all of the worksheets that you, or the little activities that you have. There's a few worksheets in there. So you're going to cut and glue in the correct order on the life cycle of a plant, as well as the life cycle of the sunflower, pumpkin, bean plant, and evergreen tree. And then you have, let's look, you have 3 assessment pieces that you can do as well. So it's just some assessments to make sure that you understand what we learned today. Okay, thank you to my parents and students for logging in, and I am so glad that you guys are choosing to continue to learn even though we are at home. I hope everyone has a good rest of your day. Thank you.